Starting the cruise ship tour of the Carnival Jubilee, we are starting deck 6 forward at Cloud 9. This is the entrance, and then on the opposite side, you have the fitness center. Walking forward on deck 6, you have the Carnival Jubilee mural here, and the details look awesome. We got the scuba diver, whale, a marlin over there, and then the beautiful Carnival Jubilee ship. And as you walk right on deck 6 past the mural, you have Piano Bar 88, which is gonna open for us right now. We haven't spent any time here yet. This is just our first sea day here on the Jubilee, but this is definitely a beautiful bar. Looks like a good place to grab a drink. And now as you walk past the Piano Bar, you have Grand Central, and then this is where you'll have Java Blue and the first floor of the Grand Central Theater. Here is Java Blue Cafe. We love coming here to get coffee, and they also have breakfast sandwiches, which is in my food tour video if you guys want to check that out. And still walking forward on the right side of the ship, you have Currents, and here is where the Golden Mermaid is, which this looks just absolutely breathtaking. And then just like on the Carnival Celebration, you have a pretty big scale size of the Carnival Jubilee, which is really well done. Very beautiful. The mosaics in this area are also very beautifully done. Definitely love it. I do prefer this area on the Carnival Celebration, but I still really like this. Now at about deck 6 mid is the Atlantic Restaurant, and I believe on our sailing, this is the scheduled time dinings. So if you have a scheduled time, not your time dining, this will be your restaurant. Now as we walk across to the other side of Currents, there's this nice little area where it's got these mirrors that go all the way down with these beautiful lights behind them. And then also some really good seating here. Like, I really love these booths. We sat here and ate last night, and it was very peaceful and a beautiful place to grab some food. On deck 6, if you're walking front to aft, on the left side, we kind of skipped over this part by going over to the other side of Currents where the Golden Mermaid is. There are some hip fish shops, and then as you come this way, you walk through the main area of Currents where you have Dr. Ink's PhD or Drinks PhD, and this bar is just absolutely breathtaking. We haven't gotten a drink here yet, but we definitely will in one of the vlogs, so if you guys want to check that out, it'll be in probably one of the sea day vlogs that I have, and then we'll continue forward here on deck 6. One thing I really love is these LCD screens are just beautiful. I haven't even seen it this color scheme yet on this sailing. But anyway, as we walk forward, here's Emerald's Bistro 717, and this will be another spot that we go to on our food tour video, so definitely check that out. And all the way at deck 6 aft, we have the Pacific Restaurant. This is your time dining and I believe sea day brunch. And this dining area is very beautiful. We have had this dining area, well, the similar one to it, on the Mardi Gras and Celebration as well. Now starting at deck 7 aft, we have the second part of the Pacific Restaurant, and we will start from here. So as we are now walking deck 7 aft to forward, you get a first glimpse of the beautiful sculpture going up the stairway. And then you have Fahrenheit Steakhouse here, and some good seating areas as well with these beautiful chandeliers. So on deck 7, we have the Alchemy Bar, which is right above where Dr. Ink's or Drinks PhD is. And then those beautiful LCD screens up there, they actually show aquarium, kind of like virtual aquariums and stuff like that, and you can actually change that on a screen, but it's currently not working, so I'll do that in one of my vlogs as well. And as we come around the Alchemy Bar, we have the Limelight Lounge. And this is where some comedy shows will be, trivia will be held, and right now the doors are closed, so we won't be going in there. But this is a great space. We love it on the Mardi Gras and Celebration, so I'm sure we'll love it on this ship as well. So right before you get to the Grand Central seating on deck 7, you have Portside Liquor and Tobacco, and then Island Traders. And then you come out to Grand Central Theater here. And up here is a great view if you want to catch a show. or any other thing that they have while on your sailing. And then also still walking forward on deck 7, you have the Jubilee Casino, which we can't film in, so we're gonna stop it here. All right, coming out of the casino on deck 7, about midway through the casino, you have the Grand View Bar. And there's also some really nice seating here on the opposite side of where this theater is, where you can definitely catch a good view of any show or event going on. And as you continue past Grand View Bar, there's another entrance to the casino. The casinos on Excel class ships are very big, so just remember that, and they are on deck 7. And then all the way forward on deck 7, we have the Jubilee Theater, and we'll go see if it's open so we can take a little look in there. And unfortunately, since it's early in the morning, we cannot get in there, so we'll move forward. Now starting on deck 8 forward is where the Havana guests stay. They have some awesome cabins there, but the bar is accessible to everybody, and the Havana bar is a very beautiful area. So we will definitely spend some time here on this cruise. But for now, we'll move forward with the tour. And when you leave the Havana area, if you swing back around to the right, if you're coming from forward, it would be your left if you're coming from the aft way. You have the Chabang Chinese and Mexican cuisine restaurant, which this has actually become a pretty good place to eat. We didn't like it in the Mardi Gras, but on the Celebration, we definitely did enjoy it. And as we walk deck 8 forward to aft, we have these beautiful bridges here that are the same on the Mardi Gras and Celebration. And then an overall view of Grand Central. And then here is where Banzai Teppanyaki is. We're hopefully going to be eating here on this sailing. We have never done that on Carnival, but we're definitely looking forward to finally trying this, and hopefully Brittany will like some of the food. And then as you pass Banzai Teppanyaki, you have a Tag Heuer, or however you pronounce that, watch shop, and then Effie is also up here. And now we come to the Pixels Art Gallery, which if you are gold, platinum, or diamond, right here is where you will get your pin. We tend to do it on the first day, so that way they don't run out, and you have plenty of opportunity to just walk around and explore the ship when you first get on. And we have now reached the shores here on the Carnival Jubilee with a beautiful boat. And as you come over here to the right is where Cucina del Capitano is, and this is complimentary on the Jubilee, as it always has been on these new Carnival flagships, which we love eating at Cucina del Capitano. Coming around opposite to Cucina is the Marina Bar. We never really spend any time, but you actually can get some specialty coffee from Java Blue there. And now, one of my favorite spots on the Carnival Jubilee is where Coastal Slice is. This ceiling is beautiful with these colors, and if you want to grab your pizza that's open from 11 a.m. to 4 a.m., you'll come over here. And then of course Beach Buns is also right next to it, which they now serve hot dogs, which we did do in our food tour video. So definitely a great place to check out, and great food so far on the Carnival Jubilee. And still walking aft, you have the beautiful fish sculpture here that goes straight down. And still walking aft on deck 8, you have Carnival Adventures, where you can book shore excursions and get some stuff for excursions like snorkeling, hats, and sunscreen. And as we walk forward is where you have guest services. As we reach deck 8 aft, we have Guy's Pig and Anchor at Summer Landing here on the Carnival Jubilee. This is always one of our favorite spots on these Excel class ships. The seating, the atmosphere, everything is just so awesome on these Excel class ships. They did a great job with Summer Landing. Also at Summer Landing, you have the Carnival store, where you can get some pretty cool Jubilee branded and Carnival branded gifts. It's a very nice shop. I'm glad that they finally started incorporating, like Royal Caribbean does, more Carnival branded goods. Here you also have the Heroes Tribute Lounge, which this is just a great spot. Good place to watch sports, and they also have some foosball tables. And through Summer Landing, you have the patio, which on the Carnival Celebration, if you watched that series at all, you learned that that was one of our favorite places to hang out. It was quiet, it was serene, we always had a spot in the pool, even on those busy sea days. This is just a great spot to hang out on a sea day. On the starboard side of deck 8, you have hot tubs along with some really great seating areas on the outside and some beautiful views of the rest of the ship that just tower straight above the outside of deck 8. On the port side of the aft of deck 8, you have the outside spot where you can eat. Guys pick an anchor on a sea day for lunch. Very good spot. But now we will continue. We're going to skip over a few decks because they are just for guests only. All right, resuming the tour at deck 16 aft. We are at the Tides pool. And the Tides pool is a pretty good spot to spend a sea day. It does start to get a little bit busy, but nonetheless, we do like hanging out up here a couple times on the sailing. Then also on deck 16 aft is my favorite spot to eat on a Carnival ship now, and that is Shaq's Big Chicken. Also on deck 16, you will find the Lido Marketplace. It pretty much travels about 2/3 of deck 16. This is where your buffet will be, a couple drink stations. So if you like eating in buffets, deck 16 is the spot you'll want to come. And now on deck 16 mid, you have the Lido deck, which is of course the best party, pool, and all over entertainment spot on a sea day on board Carnival cruises. And as you can see here, you've got a 2-story Red Frog Tiki bar, and there is the main screen here where you can watch live sports and movies. Great place to hang out on a Carnival cruise. So up here on the Lido deck, you have street eats where you have the seafood shack, which does cost extra. That's the only spot on this little street eats walkway here that does cost extra. Then you have Time Fries. They don't have the fries of the day up yet, but they definitely have some good food here. Then you have Steam Dream. They do stuff like kind of like an Asian wok type deal. And then you've got Mad Sizzle, which I've never really tried anything from Mad Sizzle yet. We're definitely gonna have to, but yes, this is a great spot to get some food. Opposite the street eats, you have one of our favorites, the Blue Iguana Cantina. Great spot to get some breakfast or lunch. And they also do have a hot sauce bar. Just be careful since you're on a cruise. All right, we are now deck 17 forward, well, forward mid-ish, but there's some good seating up here. They have these new day beds that I haven't seen on either Mardi Gras or Celebration. And you do get a very good view here of the Lido deck. And then on the port side, walking aft on deck 17, you have the famous Guy's Burger joint. We've already had it once on this sailing, and it was just as good as we remember. Always a staple on a Carnival cruise. Definitely got to enjoy some Guy's Burgers. Heading aft on deck 17, you have some good loungers in case you want to avoid some of the crowds, where you have some nice sea views. And these ones look super comfortable. We've hung out on these a couple times in the past on the Mardi Gras and Celebration. It's a nice relaxing spot to kind of get away from the crowd. But if you do go too far back, you might hear Bolt running. And speaking of Bolt, we have arrived at the final deck, deck 18 on this ship tour, where you have mini golf. You have Bolt roller coaster, you have the ropes course, you have the water park. It is the ultimate playground of the Carnival Jubilee. Walking forward on the starboard side, you have the entrance to the Bolt roller coaster, where you can test out to see if you like the seat on the roller coaster car here. And then you enter on this staircase here, and you'll just head up behind these water slides and get on Bolt, which I highly recommend. Now on the Jubilee, you pay $15 per person, but you get to go around 3 times, and the track is a lot of fun. We've arrived at deck 18 mid, where you've got some foosball, ping pong, and you've got the ropes course, which, as you can hear, it is super windy right now, so I'm sure this won't be open today. But also here on deck 18 mid, you have the basketball court, and they also set up some soccer nets, so if you like to shoot some hoops, maybe kick around a soccer ball on a cruise, here's your spot. On the opposite side of where you get onto the ropes course, they have this other area where you can play cornhole, and there is also another foosball table up this way. And now finally on deck 18 forward, we have the Serenity Adults Only Retreat. This is usually one of our go-to spots on a Carnival cruise. However, on the Celebration, this was more of a party than the Lido deck was. But hopefully that's different for the Jubilee, because we love hanging out up here. As you can see, the lounges up here look so peaceful. and then we'll get to the pool. Right about in the middle of Serenity here on deck 18, you have a nice little seating area, and then the adults only pool. And up there is Loft 19, but unfortunately we don't have access to that on this cruise. But Serenity is a great place to spend the day on a cruise. Alright guys, well that concludes my ship tour of the Carnival Jubilee. I know I didn't hit everything, but I hit the highlighted points, the points that I love on this ship that I know you guys will love too. If you have been on Mardi Gras Celebration, the layout is pretty much exactly the same. This is more close to the Celebration though, because the Mardi Gras has a few differences from the Carnival Celebration and the Jubilee. But I thank you guys for coming on the ship tour with me, and cruise on.